Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I'm Sufi. My research topic will be a structural equation model of students' engagement in the mobile assisted language learning environment. Before I proceed, I would like to explain to you that all the online environment mentioned in the study will use English language teaching and learning as a case in point, and the digital technology discussed will be delimited to mobile phones. The recent COVID-19 pandemic outbreak has witnessed unprecedented changes and challenges that affect every aspect of human lives. Educators are required to replace the conventional learning in the classroom with online learning platforms and resources so as to ensure students' well-being and continuous learning during the MCO period. However, there are concerns over the level of the primary school students' engagement and familiarity towards the use of digital technology in substituting traditional learning in the classroom. Student engagement has been identified as one of the significant factors that affects students' learning achievement as well as their personal developments. Okay, there are two factors which can influence students' engagement in the technology-enhanced learning environment. The first one is inter-individual factors that deals with students' external relationship with others, such as with the other students, teachers, and their tasks. And the second factors is intra-individual factors that deal with students' internal psychosocial, students' subject discipline interest. Moving on to problem statement. The use of digital technology in the Malaysian education system has been the highest ever since the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak and has accelerated digital transformation in the country's education system. However, the success of the digital technology integration in any education system is highly influenced by the levels of students' engagement. Previously, online learning is just an option of teaching aids, but has turned into a priority platform for both teachers and students during the MCO period. Awang Osman and Mat Aji 2016 mentioned that the primary school students in Malaysia are still not ready for online learning because they are still lagging in terms of their engagement and experiences in the online learning platform. Students' demotivation and unpreparedness towards the use of digital technology have negatively affected their engagement in the online learning. Wang and Fredericks 2014 states that students' disengagement in learning leads to frustration, isolation, and demotivation to learn, and consequently increases the likelihood to drop out. Therefore, this research is carried out in order to understand the roles of the Malaysia primary school students' motivation and their technology acceptance level. Furthermore, Adam Sumintono Mohammed and Muhammad Noor 2018 assert that in Malaysia, only higher education institutions are expected to provide e-learning facilities to their students. Therefore, many studies have been carried out regarding students' perceptions, acceptance, and motivations towards technology-based learning in the higher education institutions. Despite effort from the Ministry of Education Malaysia in digitalizing the primary and secondary schools, the ratio of usage from both teachers and students is relatively low. Therefore, it is expected that minimal research has been carried out in understanding the interrelationship of the primary school students' learning motivation, technology acceptance, and engagement towards learning in the digital technology-mediated environment. Essentially, this research is conducted so as to address the underexplored area of students' engagement, students' motivation, and technology acceptance in the technology-based teaching and learning environment. In addition, Aru Kiasami suggests that mobile technologies have offered new and versatile opportunities to improve students' second language skills by providing them with broader access to education. Ideally, Both male and female primary school students are expected to be able to participate and perceive online language learning activities in the same and uniform way. However, multiple studies have shown that adult students have different inclination towards technology-based language learning based on their gender. In addition, research on determining the effects of gender on the Malaysia primary school students' motivation, technology acceptance, and technology-based engagement are also sparse. Besides that, gender is also regarded as one of the main factors that can influence students' second language learning. Previous studies conducted in Malaysia have always focused on examining the impact of gender on students' motivation, learning strategies and engagement in the conventional language classroom, not in the online learning environment. Therefore, this study is conducted to examine the mediating role of gender in influencing the primary school students' learning motivation, technology acceptance. Previous studies on student engagement in mobile-assisted language learning. Previous studies on student engagement in MOL have shown that the utilization of mobile technologies has helped to increase student engagement in the state learning environment, which indirectly aids their language acquisition. The first study is conducted by Gromick 2012 on 9 participants at the National University of Japan. He studied the engagement of the participants with the video recording feature on their cell phones. Gromick 2012 study showed that students' positive engagement in the mobile-assisted language learning practices had contributed. The second study is conducted by Cho and Castaneda 2019 with 82 US students. Their study aimed to investigate the changes in students' motivational and effective engagement in learning Spanish with the implementation of the game-like mobile application that focuses on grammar activities in 4 consecutive semesters. Their report showed that there were significant changes in students' motivational and effective engagement after they participated in the mobile-assisted learning activities. The findings also indicated that even though students enjoyed the game-like activities more compared to their usual learning, they still felt anxious, bored, and frustrated when learning in mobile activities. The third study is conducted in the Malaysian context. It is a study by Abdullah Ahmad Tajuddin and Goh 2019, which was carried out in the Malaysian higher education context, aimed to examine students' perception of smartphone applications along with its usability, effectiveness, and satisfaction. The study was conducted with 79 undergraduate Mandarin students from an East Coast university. The overall finding from the study indicated that all the participants agreed that smartphone application increased their learning outcome as well as improved research gap. There are 3 major gaps highlighted in my study. The first one is the application of digital technology. Previously, online learning is just an option of teaching aids, but has turned into a priority and necessity platform for both teachers and students to ensure continuous learning. However, the online learning still does not compare to face-to-face learning and interactions. This is because Malaysian students are still not ready for online learning. And the second gap is age. The ratio of usage from both teachers and students is relatively low compared to the adult students in the higher education institution. Hugh and Sheikh Abdul Kadir mentioned that computer usage in schools is limited and in some cases almost non-existent. Therefore, it is expected that minimal research has been carried out in order to understand the interrelationships of the Malaysian primary school students' learning motivation, technology acceptance, and engagement towards learning in the digital technology-mediated environment. The third gap is gender. Previous studies always focus on examining the impact of gender on students' motivation, learning strategies, and engagement in the conventional language classroom and not in the online learning environment. Therefore, research on determining the effect of gender on primary school students' motivation, technology acceptance, and technology-based engagement are also sparse. So, this study is conducted in order to address the underexplored area of students' engagement. Moving on to significance of the study. There are three significance of the study. The first one is pedagogical implication. This study will allow teachers to anticipate students' indisposed behaviors towards the use of more pedagogy and help the teachers to make informed decisions in modifying and adjusting pedagogical elements in MOL where necessary. The second one is the finding of this study will help the Ministry of Education Malaysia to develop a practical use of MOL pedagogy among current and future teachers in Malaysia. The second significance is the theoretical implication. This study will refine the relationship of the primary school students' gender, learning motivation, technology acceptance, and their engagement in the MOL environment in the Malaysian context by providing the validated hypothesized structural model of the study. And the third significance is on the English language policy in Malaysia. This study will serve as the preliminary data that can be used by policymakers to understand the interconnection between the primary school students' gender, learning motivation, technology acceptance, and their engagement, plus their implications towards the technology-based education. The second one, this study will help the policymakers to make informed decisions regarding the current. In conclusion, this research intends to establish the interrelationship between the primary school students' gender, motivation, technology acceptance, and their engagement in the MOL environment. Students are individuals who have always been a central focus of any education system, as they are the ones that are expected to attain and achieve the desired skill and knowledge prescribed by the country's education blueprint. However, recent changes in ways students learn during the MCO period and after the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak witnessed the abrupt implementation of mobile-based English language teaching and learning practices. Since the primary school students are not adequately being introduced with mobile learning methods, their engagement in the new and unique environment should be explored. Why? So that educators can build back better education system for the Malaysian primary school students by improving the mobile-based teaching and learning practices. With that, thank you.